right, Corey, first day that the full squad is supposed to report for workouts tomorrow. You have been here pretty much the entire time. Where are you at as far as the process is in your rehab? I saw you, taking ground balls the other day. You're standing in for live BP. Where are you at?
I've pretty much done everything. I need to throw across the infield, and I need to get some live VBs off pitchers, and that's pretty much it. Those are kind of the last 2 boxes I need to check off.
And how do you feel physically? Because you look different physically, but it seems like the strength is still there.
Yeah, I feel great. Kind of got my butt kicked a little bit this offseason, getting back in shape. It was a long process, but we're here now and in a good spot, and looking forward to the year.
Dave had said that there were parts of you last year that didn't even want to be at the park because you wanted to be out there and you couldn't be. And then there were also days that you had to be there because you didn't want to miss anymore. What was that like mentally for you?
Yeah, it was really hard. You wanted to be there, you wanted to be around, you wanted to help, but you didn't want to be in the way, and you didn't want to feel like you were limiting somebody because you were taking up a space. So it was a difficult kind of scenario to play with, and it was a hard balance. But you got through it, did what you could, or tried to be there as much as you can, support your teammates. But hopefully now you can get back on the field and help them out there.
And the way that they've talked about your tracking to start opening day, I know nobody wants to put any sort of time limits on you. What boxes do you still need to check off to make sure you're ready for that particular date?
You still got to play, obviously. You still got to see how you respond. You got to build up innings. You got to do all that stuff. I still have to throw across the infield, like I said before. But it's really just going to be kind of like getting back into baseball shape kind of stuff. See how the body reacts, see how you handle the next day, back-to-back days, stuff like that.
If the weather cooperates, you'll be standing in for live BP today against Quackenbush. What does that do for you to be able to, I know you were standing in bullpen sessions to track the pitches, but what does live BP do for you?
Yeah, it definitely changes it. Just seeing velocity again, seeing spin, seeing movement, seeing all that stuff it's huge. Just getting back outside and those kind of visuals again. It's all a process that you have to go through and redo everything, basically start over from ground zero.
Finally, for you, physically, how nice is it to know that you're recovering from 2 surgeries and you're back where you want to be and you're healthy and you can actually play again?
Yeah, that's awesome. Just being out there again with the guys, moving around with everybody, not being on your own schedules and doing this and doing that, and just kind of being a normal person again is really nice.
Dodger right-hander Walker Buehler ready to visit with us on this Friday. Walker, good morning to you.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great, man. Thanks for taking some time. I know that camp is pretty fresh, pitchers and catchers, and you haven't started the game schedule yet. But now that you're established and you are in that rotation, do things feel a little bit different for you this year than they would have over the past couple years in spring training?
I don't know. I think for me, the big thing is still coming into camp trying to win a job, and yeah, the faces are a little more familiar, but no, it's just good to be back.
Hey, Walker, I just flat out love watching you pitch. I just love it. I love how you attack guys, the way you go about your game. So what will we see from Walker Buehler? What did you learn down the stretch about how you pitched and how it played this year?
I think the biggest thing for me is finally getting the confidence that I can do it in the big leagues and at the end of the year getting on a good little run. So, just try and get back to where I was and throw the ball well.
We read an article, Walker, on MLB.com where there was some discussion about midway through the season when you made some changes, some tweaks to your slider along with Rick Honeycutt, and you feel like that really unlocked you after the All-Star break. Get into that a little bit more in depth with us, if you will. Was it grip? Was it usage of that pitch? What exactly did you do?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a domino effect, to be honest. The biggest thing we did was fix my mechanics coming off of my rib injury, and once I kind of got that all straightened out, then my hand let me do a little bit more with the slider. And before the game in St. Louis, we changed the grip literally in the bullpen, and it became kind of a different pitch and kind of went from there.
So, Walker, the big Vanderbilt game coming up tonight against Virginia. I know you're familiar with that. Are you going to the game, and how many calls have you got?
Yeah, no, we'll be there. It's kind of cool they get to open their season up out here and against Virginia. We played in Omaha a couple times, so no, we'll be looking forward to see everybody. I think there's going to be quite a few people out there.
Are they going to stop by camp this morning? They get a chance to come by there at all?
I don't know. I think they're pretty busy, to be honest with you. They got 3 games in the next 3 days, so We tried to make it out to practice, but Valentine's Day plans kind of got in the way of that. So, no, we're excited to get out there.
College baseball team, man, they're in the room playing PlayStation. They're not going anywhere. They want to just hang out in their shower shoes. Hey, Walker, I want to take you back to the World Series and Game 3 specifically, the marathon, the first back in L.A., the extra innings game. What did you do after you came out of the game and put the Dodgers in a great place, and then you had to sit there for about 5 hours?
Yeah, I was in the training room for quite a long time. We got back out there pretty late and got to see Muncy hit the homer. But, yeah, that was about as long as I've ever seen. It's tough. You pitch 7 innings and come out of a game. Usually you're done pretty quick. But then Evaldi threw his 7. So, no, it was a good game.
No, it was a great game. It was a long one, no doubt about it. So now, as you prepare, and Matt asked you this earlier a little bit, is the mindset a little bit different in spring training now? Not maybe throwing as many innings. You're going to be in that rotation. And another second time around, you get a chance to prepare yourself. What have you learned, and what will your spring be like?
Yeah, I think we're going to be a little bit slower going through spring and not trying to build up so quickly, but more kind of because of how many innings I threw last year compared to the year before. But nothing's going to change. Just try and get to a good place where I'm feeling good and feeling like I can have a clue where the ball's going.
Hey, Walker, we appreciate the visit today, man. Enjoy watching Vanderbilt later on tonight, across the street at Talking Stick, and we look forward to chatting with you during the season. Way to go.
Dave, good morning. With the news of Andrew Tolles not coming to camp at any point in the near future, what does that mean for both Alex Verdugo, your lefty, as well as Jock Peterson?
It's obviously opportunities, and we'll get Andrew here when things work out. He works through some personal things. He has our full support, certainly. As far as Alex and Jock, it's just more of just going out there and doing what you can to get ready for a Major League season. So that's sort of it on that.
Do you anticipate Andrew being in play to compete for a spot on your roster? I mean, what can you tell us about when he might be here?
I don't know the timeline, and that's the first part. Is just getting him here and getting him back in the swing of things. So then outside of that, then we'll evaluate going forward.
The opportunity for Alex, is it bigger now with perhaps an opportunity to make that big league roster?
It is. It is. And we talked about it yesterday, and Alex has done everything he can do to prove himself at the AAA level. And he came into camp in really good shape, and he understands what we try to do, what he needs to do to get better as a player. And so outside of that, it's just go out there and let things kind of unfold.
Same guys for live BP today if the weather holds out?
Yeah, I think that we're hopeful, and it's the same guys, and it'll be good to see some batters in the box.
Do you have everyone else in camp?
We do. We do. Everyone else that I think, I think we do have everyone else, yeah.
And based on keeping in touch with players in the off season, can you say whether this surprised you with Andrew, knowing what he's been getting ready for and how his progress was going?
Obviously, there's things are sometimes unpredictable, and family, personal issues obviously have to come before baseball, and you got to take care of that. And so, yeah, it was a surprise, and I think that's kind of the unpredictability of life. So we've got to adjust, but like I said, he has our full support, and we'll go from there. I have not, but the organization has been in touch with him, but I haven't talked to Andrew personally.
Coach, I'm from South Korea. You saw Mr. Liu's pitching yesterday, right?
Yes.
How did he do? He threw 5 pitches, right?
He's in good shape, and he's executing pitches. He's exactly where he needs to be right now.
So, what is your expectation out of Hyunjin Liu this year?
It's a lot of just doing what he did last year. And last year, he was off to a really great start until he had the groin injury, and came back and pitched really well for us. So I think that outside of that, just continue to work, stay healthy, and pitch well.
You obviously saw a lot of Joe Kelly, against you in the World Series, but what are you seeing now that he's in blue and his bullpen so far?
In the bullpens, there's a really clear understanding on what he needs to do, what he's trying to do, what his pitch mix is, the fastball, the breaking ball, the change, the lanes that he's using to execute a pitch, very consistent. The rapport with the catcher, his teammates, it's really he's blended in really nicely.
What's it like having all these guys here now? I mean, they're all kind of in there congregating, having a good time, laughing it up, getting to see each other for the first time in a while.
It's a lot of fun. This is one of the fun times of the season where everybody's body feels good and everyone says they're in the best shape of their lives, and you kind of get to see teammates again and talk about off-season vacations and get back to work and to a routine, a regimen. But when I see David Freese and I see A.J. Pollock and I see Russell Martin to complement the guys that we already have, it's exciting. It's really exciting, and I know talking to our pitchers to get the position players in camp, there's a lot of good energy with focus and understanding that, the guys that are here, they want to be here, and they know that this is a special place and a special opportunity.
Still thinking 50 to 60 ABs on the backfield or in live BP for Corey before he gets into an A game?
I think that's fair. Yeah. Like I said, it's been quite some time since he's taken really some live at bats. So just to get him in the swing of things, and today he's going to be in there in the live BP, just seeing pitchers, and he likes to get in the box and take some swings, so that'll be good for him. But 50 to 60 is fair, yeah.
What's the adjustment going to be for your pitchers during spring games with the pitch clock? I know that's going to be kind of a test run.
I don't think it's going to be as much as an adjustment for most guys. I think some guys around the league that work a little bit at a slower pace, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But I really, across the board, I don't see it much of a problem for the pitchers. I think that some hitters might fall victim to the pitch clock outside the pitchers. But I don't think it's just, because players are going to adjust. So I don't think it's that drastic, and it's good for the game.
So you're in favor of a pitch clock?
I understand. I understand, all the issues that we're talking about, and whatever, keeps the fan interest and the game going, ball and play, pace of play, all that stuff. And we're trying to get this game better, and do what the fans want and what works for the players. So, there's got to be an evolution, and that's what we're doing.